Welcome back to Shooting with Nerds. Today we are going over the Pro chassis. It's here. Got some rounds through it. I got one match under my belt with this bad boy, and we're going to go over this thing right now. We've got the Legacy chassis right here, so do a little compare and contrast. As always, we're going to start at the tip and we're going to end at the butt. We got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to jump right into it. Obviously, we have a Vision Vulcan brake. If you were curious about the barreled action, jump back a couple videos and watch the PRS rifle rundown. We're going to talk about the Vision chassis, or the Pro chassis today. And they're both Vision chassis. We have the Legacy and the Pro. Biggest change coming from the Legacy going to the Pro chassis is going to be it's one piece. You still have a brake here. You can change the buttstock out. You can move the folders over. You can do all that. But we no longer have the interchangeable fore ends where you could take basically this whole fore end, swap it. This was the competition with two top plates and one pick rail. You were able to get a covert, you were able to get a little shorty, mid-length. There's a few options. They've kind of done away with that. And I like it because it makes the rifle that much stiffer. Wasn't any lack of stiffness with the Legacy, but we're getting even stiffer as far as loaded flex on that chassis goes when you're really leaning into it. So I can really appreciate the one-piece nature. It's got basically a competition length fore end on here, very similar to the Legacy. You can still put weights internal. You can do your external weights as well, stack that up as much as you'd like. But one of the things I've noticed that I really enjoy is the ability to use just these sticky brass weights. They are also offered in aluminum if you'd like the same functionality that the stickies, these little grippy pads have on a bag or a barricade, and you don't want the weight. I was actually able to get this rifle pretty much perfectly balanced with no other weights other than just one set of the sticky brass weights inserted into here. They do have detents behind them, so if you wanted to run a few towards the rear or a few towards the front, they will interlock into a detent and they won't slide around on you. They have two set screws per weight. They're about 2 inches long each, and I think in total it's about 2 pounds. Working our way backwards, we do have a new magwell. They kind of came off that rounded grip kind of, and we're into a much more squared up PRS barricade stop style bag stop really, and I love it. It's just another square item for me to use to get squared up on the rifle and execute fundamentals, right? Inside the magwell, we do have the adjustability now for tip and height adjustment with the mag catch. So you have a tip plate in here that's fully adjustable, and you have a mag catch for height that's fully adjustable. For you guys shooting rimfire, that's going to be super important so you can get that thing feeding super buttery. It's a hard thing to do with rimfires. They're particularly picky with chassis. Like my Bergara loves the Vision fore ends because they're adjustable and I can get them right where they need to be and they just feed like butter. On top of that, we now have the option for ambidextrous actions. So if I flip this thing around real quick, there's a nice little tab here. It's a polymer tab. Once you put your action in, it kind of locks down in there into place. So if you have a left-handed action, you just move that tab to the right side and drop your action in. So it's fully ambidextrous now for those left-handed shooters. Working our way to the rear a little bit here, Vision now has their Vision grip. I like it a lot. I like the big bulky grip on like a KRG. I like that large grip. So I'm running an MKM on here and it was the fattest one that they offered. I'm not a big fan of the MDT grips. The Vision grip does everything I could want. They do now include both of the thumb pads, left and right side when you get a Pro chassis. I think that's awesome. I did the same thing on my Legacy, whether I'm shooting strong or weak side. That way you can kind of, this fundamental turns into this fundamental, right? The grip is awesome. It's interchangeable. It does use a metric screw. Understand these are European chassis. You will need a set of metric Allen wrenches and Torx. You should already own them up. I'm not going to go down that road. Own tools, buy tools, have them, fix stuff. We talked about it, the folders are interchangeable so you can move that over. They do offer a little shorter block if you need it. The new chassis is about 3/4 of an inch shorter with the length of pull, but it still has all the adjustment. It just starts off a little shorter, so you actually have more adjustability. For short little dudes like me, it's awesome. I'm running it all the way in right now, and I've been playing with it one position out and all the way in. Still kind of finding my comfort with this bad boy. I've only got one match and about 250 rounds through the new Pro chassis with this barreled action. Oh, let's see. We got length of pull, we got that. The stock now has offered weights as well. You can get weights from Vision through GCP. So if you need to add some weight to the rear of your rifle, they literally just bolt right on. Super simple. They have a few different options as well. Again, the versatility of these chassis is just amazing. I really couldn't ask for more. The cheek riser, the butt pad, or cheek riser, butt pad, and bag rider have all changed just a little bit. The new cheek riser actually sits inside of a groove to kind of keep it a little bit stiffer, and the cheek riser can now move forward and rear with a simple adjustment underneath. That's an improvement from the Legacy where you just didn't have that adjustability. The butt pad, which I'll show you, is now a little bit more of a modern butt pad with some nice little angles on the sides. I've found it to be much less snaggy on shirts than this guy right here. We did get rid of the tip. That function I never used on my Legacy chassis, so I couldn't tell you if it made a difference for me because I've never used it. The bag rider's a little bit longer. I'm super happy that they did that. They made it a little slimmer, a little longer. It actually is a more functional bag rider now. Not that this one was dysfunctional by any means, but it had just enough room here in the gap where I could actually kind of walk my wrist through it, and I didn't like that. This acts much more like a stock where it kind of blocks your arm and you can load that into a bag. So I'm very happy with the way that all three of these items changed and got made better. As always, it's always getting better. On top of all that, we have a ridiculously awesome paint job. GCP killed it. Thank you guys so much. I can't express how awesome this paint job is. I gave them one color, said have fun, make it a desertish theme, and they freaking blew it out of the water. So if you're looking for a good paint job and to have some fun, give the guys at GCP a call. They're also where you can get all this Vision stuff. It's where I'm getting it all. It's the only place. The paint job itself is raw 8000 multicam green. We do have some plum and a little bit of black in there. And with the M81 wrap, it's fucking awesome. I've gotten so many compliments on this paint job, it's not even funny. Never actually had like a camo Cerakoted rifle before, so this is fun for me as well. With all that said, the Pro chassis has a lot of upgrades. There's a lot. I'm still figuring it all out. Wanted to do this video for you guys so you could kind of get a compare and contrast versus the Legacy. These are still available. Pro chassis, I don't know if it gets much better than this. Give it a few years, I'll be really interested to see what the next one is, because there's just so much adjustability in this to make it comfortable to shoot. You could take weights out, you could put weights in, you could almost use one rifle for everything and just weight it for different disciplines, PRS, NRL Hunter, whatever you're floating your boat. That's it for the Pro chassis, guys. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. I'll answer your questions, get back to you. Might have something I missed. I'd love to address it. Other than that, let's go load some ammo. Let's go head to the range. Have a good night. Be safe. See you guys next time.